Have you ever been cruising on the highway and suddenly ended up behind a shiny new truck that costs more than most homes? You know the type, spotless, covered in chrome, with premium leather seats that probably cost more than your rent and a monthly payment that would make any lender nervous. And here's a part that's wild. The driver might actually earn less than you. So what's really happening? How are everyday people managing to take on car payments that seem to break basic logic? I'm Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and why people make the choices they do. If you've ever wondered how your neighbor can drive a $70,000 pickup while complaining about grocery prices, hit subscribe and like the video if this helps explain the puzzle. Before we break it down, let's look at the reality. The average monthly payment for a new car in the US has reached levels that would have sounded crazy 10 years ago. We're talking about payments that rival rent. And yet, millions of people keep signing contracts every month, driving away in cars that cost more than the average household earns in a year. Here's the interesting part. Most of these buyers aren't secretly rich. They're not millionaires, crypto winners, or trust fund kids. They're teachers, nurses, mechanics, office workers. Obychne люди. They've just found a way to make it work, or at least it seems that way. In reality, there's a whole system designed to make these huge payments feel normal, and understanding it isn't just curiosity, it's how you avoid making a decision that can set you back for years. So how big are these payments? The average is now over $700 a month, and that's not for luxury cars, just standard vehicles. Trucks and SUVs, easily 900 plus, sometimes even $1,200 monthly for 6, 7, or even 8 years. That's over $80,000 total before insurance, fuel, and maintenance. You might think incomes have risen to support this. They haven't, at least not enough to justify it. So how do people still manage? First, longer loans. What used to be 3 to 4 years is now 6 to 8, sometimes even 10 years. Stretch the loan and the monthly payment looks smaller. A truck that would cost $1,500 a month suddenly feels affordable at $900. But here's the catch. You end up paying way more overall. That lower payment can cost you an extra $10,000 to $15,000. And by the time you're halfway through, the car is worth much less than what you still owe. That's called negative equity. Second, 0% financing. Sounds like free money, right? Not really. You either pay full price for the car with 0% interest or get a discount with normal interest. Never both. And most people don't even qualify for those deals. Third, trade-ins. People upgrade cars before finishing their loans, rolling leftover debt into the next one. So now they're paying for an old car they don't even own, plus a new one. It becomes a cycle that's hard to escape. And the craziest part? All of this has become normal. Spending $1,200 a month on anything else would sound insane, but for a car, people accept it. That's not by accident. Car companies don't just sell vehicles, they sell identity, status, lifestyle. That truck isn't just transportation, it's who you are. Because of that, people start restructuring their entire lives around the payment. Smaller apartments, fewer trips, cheaper food, all to afford a car. Some even take second jobs just to pay for it. Others use credit cards or loans to cover fuel and repairs. And that's where it gets dangerous, because the real cost isn't just the payment. It's insurance, maintenance, fuel, everything combined. Over time, a $55,000 truck can easily cost over $130,000 total. And at the end, it might be worth $15,000. That's not building wealth, that's destroying it. What's even more interesting is what would happen if that same money was invested instead. Over several years, it could turn into real savings instead of disappearing into a depreciating asset. But once people commit to these payments, they get emotionally attached. The car becomes part of their identity. Driving something cheaper feels like a downgrade, even if it's the smarter move. So the truth is simple. People aren't really affording these cars. They're just stretching, borrowing, and reshuffling money to make it seem possible. Next time you see someone driving an insanely expensive truck, remember, they might be cutting corners everywhere else just to keep it. And suddenly, that simple, reliable car you have doesn't look so bad after all.